Welcome to Film Recap. Today we are going to talk about a post-apocalyptic horror film called A Quiet Place. Beware of the spoilers and have fun. 89 days have passed since the beginning of the apocalypse and towns are empty and desolate. A family explores an abandoned grocery store gathering supplies. The son is sitting on the floor due to an unknown illness and his mother looks for medicine to give him. The daughter is deaf, but they all communicate primarily in sign language. When the youngest son tries to reach for a toy rocket ship, it begins to fall off the shelf, but the daughter quickly catches it before making any noise. The father joins them, showing supplies to the daughter and gives her a brand new Leatherman tool. The mother warns the family that it will be dark soon and that they should get moving. The youngest was still able to get the rocket ship toy, but the father cautiously takes it from him, and he removes the batteries and leaves it on the store counter. After they leave the store, the daughter takes the rocket and gives it to the youngest son, thinking that it would cause no harm. But the youngest also takes the batteries as well. The family starts making the hike back home. They are seen walking barefoot on a trail of sand, with the younger son trailing at the back of the group. Suddenly, toy sounds are heard coming from behind them. The younger son is playing with the rocket ship. The group panics as the father rushes towards the boy. Off to the side, a creature is seen moving through the woods, and before the father is able to get to him, it cuts right through the boy. Over a year later, the family is trying to cope from the previous events, and the daughter struggles with guilt over her brother's death. The father is obsessed with finding out more information about the creatures, and also a way to communicate to others via radio. So far he has tracked that only 3 creatures are in the area. The son is in a truck pretending to drive, but he knows that driving a real one will make too much noise. His father gets him, and he returns to their underground home. The mother is in the final stages of her pregnancy, and she is setting up a special crib for the new baby. The children are seen pasting paper to try and soundproof the walls. Sitting on top of a silo, the father looks at old photos of his youngest son coping with the lost. He lights a fire, and he sees other fires in the distance, a sign that other people are still out there alive. That night, they have dinner together and they even use leaves as plates to not make any noise. They pray together in silence before eating. After dinner, the children play Monopoly, but replace the pieces with things like cotton balls. While playing, they knock over a lamp, making a loud crash and starting a fire. The father extinguishes the fire with a blanket, but makes noise in the process. They become absolutely silent, waiting to see if any of the creatures had heard them, and a loud crash is heard above them, causing everyone to panic. The father looks outside the window, and he is startled by 2 raccoons wandering around. They let out a sigh of relief, and the son apologizes that he knocked over the lamp. Later, the raccoons are wandering in the fields making noise, and a claw comes out and smashes one. That night in the basement, the father is working on trying to fix the daughter's hearing aid. The mother finds him there and they dance to music coming from earbuds. The next day, the mother is performing her normal physical examination. She marks her information on the calendar, and an imminent due date is marked in about 3 weeks. She uses her stethoscope to listen to the baby's heartbeat. Meanwhile, the daughter tries to go into the basement, but the father grabs her and tells her that she cannot go inside. He gives her a hearing aid, but she is frustrated and refuses it, thinking that it won't work like all of the other ones he has tried to fix. He places it in her hand anyways. Later, the mother is teaching the son math lessons. The father comes in telling them that it is time to go. The son is scared, but the mother assures him that father will protect him. While preparing to leave, the son tells his father that he is too scared to go. The daughter butts in wanting to go instead, but the father tells her that she needs to take care of her mother. The daughter leaves pouting. She tries to use the hearing aid, but cries in disappointment that it doesn't work again. Annoyed, she gathers things like her Leatherman and packs it away in a backpack. At a river, the father and son come to collect any fish that was captured in their trap. The son freaks out thinking that the creatures will hear them, but the father assures him that the river is making enough noise around them, and small sounds will be drowned out. Meanwhile, the daughter is seen leaving the farm. Back at the house, the mother carries laundry bags up the basement stairs. One of the bags gets caught on a loose nail, and while tugging on the bag, she bends the nail upright. The father and son go up to a waterfall. The father suddenly starts yelling and the son freaks out. He assures him that it is all right and that he can let out a scream as well. Later, they have a conversation that the daughter blames herself for what had happened to the youngest son. The son tells the father that he should tell the daughter that he loves her. The daughter is seen walking back to the bridge where the youngest was slain and a small memorial is seen set up there. She cuts wires on the toy rocket, turns it on, and places it on the grave. Back at the house, the mother copes with the loss of the younger son by sitting in his old room. While journeying back home, they see an old run-down house. An old man suddenly appears, and they stop. Next to him lies an old woman who was probably killed by one of the creatures. The old man looks like he is going to scream, and the father tries to quiet him down, but unfortunately he lets out a loud scream. The father grabs the son, and hides as a creature comes out rushing towards the old man, killing him. Back at the house, the mother suddenly feels strange and notices that her water breaks. Alone, she tries to stay calm and walk downstairs toward the basement. In a rush, she steps directly onto the upright nail and lets out a small cry, dropping and breaking a picture frame as well. She pulls her foot off the nail, and runs to a light switch that turns all of the light bulbs to red, which notifies the others of her labor. As she prepares to leave, one of the creatures ventures into the home. While the creature rampages inside the home upstairs, she finds a timer to use as a distraction. Her contractions are getting stronger and hard to control. Outside, the father and son arrive, and go into a panic as they notice that the lights are red. Inside the basement, the mother hides as the creature comes down the stairs and searches around. It opens its ear flaps and tracks the ticking sound of the timer. It goes off and the creature attacks it, allowing the mother to escape upstairs. Unfortunately, another creature wanders around outside the front of the house. The father sees the creatures in the house, and he tells his son to go make a sound that is louder, and he runs out into the field. Meanwhile, a mother makes it to the bathtub, getting ready to give birth. The contractions are incredibly painful and she begins to bleed. One of the creatures starts coming up the staircase right outside of the bathroom. The boy makes it to an area where they store fireworks, and he begins to light it up. The father grabs a shotgun. The mother tries as hard as possible to hold in any noise, but as the creature moves up the stairs, she lets out a loud scream. Right when she screams, the fireworks go off and distracts the creature. The father runs toward the house as fireworks explode in the background. While lying next to her brother's grave, the daughter sees the fireworks and immediately gets up and sprints back home. The father enters the house with the shotgun. He sees bloody footprints going upstairs and leads to the bathroom. He enters the bathroom, and notices the blood in the bathtub, scared that the mother may have been killed. Suddenly, the mother reveals herself behind the shower glass door. Relieved, the father embraces her and sees their new baby boy. Meanwhile, the son walks through the fields and hears noises around him. He looks around with the flashlight, and frightened, he starts to run into the crops, but knocks out after hitting his head on a giant tire. The father carries the mother and baby to the underground shelter as a creature follows them. He places an oxygen mask on the baby, and covers it in a soundproof box while the creature thrashes around above them. The daughter makes it back home, and notices a flashlight in the crops. Suddenly, one of the creatures appears behind her, but she does not notice it due to her deafness. The creature opens its ear flaps, and the daughter's hearing aid starts making an intense noise, hurting her head. The hearing aid also has a strange effect on the creatures, causing them to be disoriented, and runs away. The daughter is confused at what had just happened. The mother wakes up, and notices that she is safe in the underground shelter with the father at her side. She asks about the other children, and he assures her that he will find them. She blames herself for their younger son's death, and she doubts her ability as a parent. She asks the father to promise to protect the children. Back at the field, the daughter finds her brother next to the flashlight, and they are relieved to find each other. The father leaves the shelter to go find his children, but he does not notice a broken water pipe leaking water down into the shelter. The son and daughter are seen on top of the silo with a lit fire. They look at the house and hope their parents are okay. The daughter tries to add more lighter fluid to the fire, but she runs out and the fire dies down. The father enters his surveillance room to find his kids but is unable to. Meanwhile, in the underground shelter, a drop of water douses the candle next to the mother. She notices the candle go out, and then sees a creature at the base of the staircase, probably led by all the noise made by the water. The creature dives into the water. As the mother carefully picks up her baby, the creature comes up right in front of her. She slowly moves back and hides behind a waterfall. The creature follows into the pouring water. Outside, the father arrives at the spot with the large tire and finds a backpack. The children argue above the silo about leaving or staying, but suddenly, a door breaks and the son drops into the silo, making a noise that distracts the creature with the mother. The father also hears the noise and starts moving toward the silo. The son is inside trying to pull himself out, but the corn is like quicksand as he keeps moving around. A silo door drops, almost hitting the son. One of the creatures rushes towards the silo, passing the father. The daughter jumps in trying to save the son. She pushes the silo door toward him to grab onto, but she sinks under the corn as well. The son is able to pull himself onto the door and saves his sister from drowning. The father runs to save them, but a creature suddenly drops into the silo. They pull the door over them to use as a shield, but does nothing against the claws of the creature as it nearly misses them. The hearing aid starts going off again and starts disorienting the creature, causing it to run away. The mother looks to see what is happening on the monitors and the father searches around the silo. They are reunited, but a creature is close by, and he tells them to hide in the truck. The father grabs an axe next to a shed and a creature appears above him. Before he can attack, it swipes him to the side. The boy screams for his father, and the mother watches everything happen on the monitors. The creature follows the scream and lunges towards the truck. The wounded father gets up as the creature attacks the truck. Seeing that the kids are helpless, he signs that he loves them, and screams to attract the attention of the creature. The son switches the car gears to begin rolling and the creature kills the father. At dawn, the children reunite with their mother, but the creature still follows. They run into the basement, and the daughter looks at everything the father was working on, like the many hearing aid devices. Lights begin to flicker and the creature is seen moving down the stairs. The mother points the shotgun at it, and it begins to open up its ear flaps. It hears the noises of the surrounding equipment and attacks it. Still searching for other noises, it listens again, and the daughter realizes that it was her hearing aid that causes the creatures to become disoriented. She turns on her hearing aid and the creature begins to struggle. She puts the hearing aid to the microphone of the radio speakers to amplify the noise. It causes the creature to open up its face flaps, and becomes incapacitated. A few seconds later, it rises up to attack. With its face flaps still open, the mother fires the shotgun, killing the creature. A few moments later, lights start to flicker again, and they see the other two creatures running toward the house on the monitors. The daughter increases the volume on the radio, and the mother pumps the shotgun ready to fight. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more film recap videos.